Hello everyone and welcome to the ESBH training. Today's date is August 8th of 2016. Just a quick introduction and contact information. My name is Tara Thelmeyer and I'm the data manager for the Behavioral Health Systems of Baltimore. And the email that you can reach us at is esmh@bhsbaltimore.org if you have any questions in the future. The office number for VHSB is 410-637-1900. And I just want to say to start off that I know that the email address is ESMH and this is the ESBH program. However, a lot of the hardware cannot be changed at this time, so we will be keeping everything as ESMH. So just moving on, the agenda. We are going to review the site, obtain a username, security questions, password requirements, students tab, the individual services tab, group services, universal activities, life skills, and clinician review. So we're going to start off by going to VHSB's website. So it's vhsbaltimore.org. I'm just going to click that and it's going to take a few seconds. Okay, so here we have the VHSB site. We're going to go to the For Providers link right here and go to Database Logins and Resources. Again, it's vhsbaltimore.org, For Providers, and Database Logins and Resources. So we're going to click that. And here at the very bottom, you have ESMH and Head Start. So your supervisor should have already given you your username and password. It's a temporary password. And in order to do that, we require them to fill out a specific form for that in order to get a username and password for you. So now that you have the username and password, we're going to go to the ESMH admin site first, just because you're a new user. So coming into here, I'm going to enter my credentials that I was given. So just to say this, for the training purposes, I've created a username that's fictitious. All the students will be fictitious, the agency, everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and log in. This says it's a new user. So I'm going to click OK. Depending on your browser, it might say it kind of differently. Okay, in what city did you meet your significant other? All of these things. I'm going to do this just for training purposes. I'm just going to make everything Baltimore just for my security questions. Please have better security questions. So this and your password, these security questions and password, we might not have access, we definitely don't have access to your password, so please keep that handy. If you were to get locked out or you don't have your password, we'd have to create a completely new one. So we don't have access to exactly what it says. Whoops. I'm just going to write Baltimore City. Sorry about that. So welcome to ESMH. So it was this red site for administrative and now it's this blue site. So I'm just going to go back. I'm going to go into the service section. So this is the main part. So the BHS Baltimore's website, ESMH, you're going to go to the service section in order to log in from here on out. Okay. So, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to individual service right here. we're going to select the provider. You might have several providers, but for me, I just created the Baltimore City's greatest providers. This is just for our testing purposes an example. And our school, we only have the one school, and I named it Happy Days, and we have specific students for this school, and of course they're all fictitious. So I'm just going to create an individual service. So again, my provider is going to be the Baltimore City's greatest providers for the individual service tab. I'm going to go to the school that you'd like. So in my case, it's Happy Days, and then the student that we want to select. So I think I'm just going to pick on the first one, Tinkerbell, as if we had an individual service. And it shows the demographic information of this student. So I'm going to click on the date of service. So I'm just going to say Friday was our date of service for this student. So you're going to need to pick on one code per example. So one focus code, one service code, one intervention code for this individual service. So as you can see, they're all in, sorry about that. I'm just going to click on different ones and add individual service record at the bottom. Great, it was created successfully. So technically we're not finished from here, but we're going to do the clinician review at the very end. So that's located right here. So technically you won't get credit for this until it's been reviewed. So we will do that at the very end. We're going to go to the group service now. So this is the next tab. So again, I only have the one provider, the one school, and the one group. We're going to select a group. So I'm going to either do anger management, bullying, coping skills, family focus groups, healthy relationships, self-esteem, social skills, or substance use. So I think I'll just have healthy relationships just for this example. So I'm going to go ahead and do a service date. So I'll say maybe August 4th, last Thursday. What is the group type? Was it treatment or prevention? I think I'll just click treatment. And I'll do all grades in my case because there's not too many students at this school, at this fictitious school. So I'm going to get students for all of the grades. And I'm just going to pick a few that were at my school. Great. So these were already students in the system, and I'm just picking the ones that came to my group service for healthy relationships. So in order to get the credit for this piece, you do have to save the group session. Great. So it was created successfully. However, we will need to, you see that now that there was once one, now there's two. We will need to review this at the end. So we're going to keep going. We're going to go to the universal activities section. And again, I'm going to click on the provider, which is the Baltimore City's greatest providers. The only school that I have is Happy Days. And what I'm going to do is get the grades. All grades again, just because I only have a few students at this school. So I'm going to go ahead and click Get Students. And the start date for this, let's say August 2nd. And naming the topic. I'm a data manager. I am definitely not a clinician. Let's see. I'll just write bulleting. Type of activity. Let's call this a classroom activity. Total number of students. I'm going to say 5 because I don't have that many students. And total non-students, so those that are teachers and staff. So this is the non-students. Actually, hold on. Okay, I'm just going to put 2 for now. Add a universal activity. Make sure that you're clicking Add a universal activity and that you see it has been created. Okay, great. I'm going to go to the life skills section now. Okay, so I've already selected Baltimore City's greatest providers and the sorry. This has to do with me. So I'm going to click that. Then the school will be selected, Happy Days, and I'm going to select a student. Let's say Wilma Flintstone for this example, and all of her demographic information pops up. The date of the life skills section. That will be, let's say, the 4th. And then you have to select the risk factor. Community, family, school, or individual peer. Again, I'm just going to click one for the example. Is this a follow-up, yes or no? I'm going to just select yes. So we're going to add the life skills record. Great. It has been successfully created. So now you can see under the clinician review there are 4. So what I did was I just went down the line for these tabs. So now I'm going to click on my students. But only because there were already students at this school. So we have the provider, the only one that I have for this example, and the school already selected, and this student. So if we'd like to edit the students that are already in here, we're going to go to Wilma Flintstone and then click Edit the Student. So for some reason, even though I did fix this, the city is not in there. So maybe this student has moved. 1789. I'm just going to edit the information right in here. Perfect. I'm going to update that student. Great. So I'm going to go to another one to show you another example. Clark Kent. So if we need to end the service for this student, you're going to click checkbox here and then the end of the student date. So if we would want to do that, we would do that here. And then having a reason in order to end the student services. I'm just showing you where that is for now. I would not like to end the student because of my training purposes. However, let's go back to the Students tab. If we do have a new student for our one and only school, the Baltimore City Greatest Provider School at Happy Days, we're going to click New Student right here. And we're going to make a first name and last name. This has been my key. Entering the city, street, state, date of birth, make sure you select the race, ethnicity, and the start date. We'll have the student start today. And preferred date, maybe this date. So the PIF number, hopefully you should already have. A student is a 6th grader. The PIF number, I'm just going to make one up for this training purpose. Okay, perfect. So you need the first name, the last name, the address, the city, the state, zip code, date of birth, which is 2 characters, and then 4 characters, month, date, year, race and ethnicity, gender, start date, refer date, grade, and PIF number. And then you're going to click Add Student. Great, and it says right here that Roger Rabbit has been added. And then you can see them right here under Jessica Rabbit. Great. So now what I'd like to do is go to the clinician review. Great, so when we went to each individual tab, we made one entry for each, just for the training purpose. So this one, it says the individual entry was Tinkerbell. In the group entry, we had healthy relationships. We had the 6 students that attended. The universal activities was bullying, 5 students and 2 teachers attending. School name was Happy Days. The risk factor, individual peer, the student was Wilma Flintstone. So what we need to do, these are not approved at this time. However, you can delete them if needed. So in order to get the credit, you will need to approve them. So I would personally do them one by one so you're looking at what you're doing, but there is an approve all section right here. You can also delete all and uncheck all. So I went in because I only had the 4 pieces, so I will need to approve them and then process records. Perfect, so you must use process records in order for this to go through. So great, now we don't have any clinician review pieces right here. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and log out, and thank you very much. This was the training for the ESBH program. Have a good day.